Last week on Knights of the Roll Table.
You break into a clearing where a battle is going on between this owl bear and a tiefling.
Do you need assistance, purple one? I'll take that as a yes. And what is your name?
Lyra, there's a camp not too far from here. A war camp.
It is fine. I will go and say hello. Stop the war. Give peace a chance.
Do you mind if we come into the camp?
No, I guess you can come in.
I take a quick glance at the maps on the table.
Yeah, that's definitely a war strategy.
As you approach the town, you are able to see smoke above the town. There's fires, or you can hear screaming because the town of Respite is definitely under attack. So you have just come over the hill to view the town of Respite, which is clearly in distress. It looks under attack. There's screams, there's fires. Part of the walls are down. It looks like relatively close to where the MacIntyre's cottage is. And what do you do?
The MacIntyres are our friends.
We have to find Sora.
I'm explaining as we're running into town. The MacIntyres are our friends. Send us a little girl.
Sora and Kevin.
Oh, Sora and Kevin are her parents. And we're... Oh, there's this stupid wall.
Oh no!
Why do you always come this way?
Gravely just goes through that hole.
Part of that wall. So that section is gone.
Nope.
It is knocked down
So what you're
and
saying is
busted
we
How
open.
convenient.
The hole's a lot bigger.
They knocked it down.
Yet another way to traverse the wall has been found by just
Thank
like
goodness.
knocking it straight down.
Coach is like climbing the wall right next to it.
I assume we go straight to the cottage of our friends.
Yeah, so there's a lot of commotion inside the clearing. So you can see the back of the MacIntyre's cottage from where you enter, and there's a lot of commotion off behind it because their cottage there's kind of like a communal center between a bunch of cottages out in front of their cottage. A little ways from the inn where you've been staying, where Donovan is the barkeep, and just like everything is in chaos, and there's you're shearing much closer to fires and screaming, and you enter into that center opening area, kind of common area, and what you see are gnolls all over the place. They are angry, growly, furry. They're kind of walking humanoid, snarling, smelly hyena creatures. They carry makeshift weapons, and they bite with their teeth, and you see them chasing townsfolk here and there. You see them going in and out of some of the cottages. But specifically, in the center of this open square, you see the MacIntyre family. And they are in a back-to-back stance. The Sora and Kevin and Sindel are all there. Sora is wearing her green cloak, and she is firing off arrows almost too quickly to see. A gnoll chasing a child gets hit by one of her arrows and gets knocked to the ground as the arrow went through its calf, and another one right behind it gets hit by another arrow as it takes that arrow directly in the eye and goes down. And right next to Sora is Kevin. He is a much larger, imposing figure. He's wearing his armor, and he has his big tower shield that he is using to defend the members of his family. He's wielding his large battle axe in one hand. So he's moving that shield around as incoming attacks come in. Now and then he knocks a gnoll away with it. And his chest armor, you notice, is abnormally bulky, and you realize looking at it that Wick, the 2-year-old, is actually like in the armor. It's like custom made as like a giant,
The papoose.
like a warrior baby Bjorn.
My ovaries. I know. They just they clench so well. Give me Robin.
So he generally keeps the shield covering Wick there, but when necessary, he moves around with it. He's very versatile with this big shield in defending both Sora and Sindel, because Sindel is out there too, and she is the most striking figure that commands attention because she's barefoot. She's in a light white dress, and the dress is blowing up a little bit as if like there's wind almost like slightly raising up beneath her. So the dress is kind of billowed out, and her blonde hair is also billowed out. And disturbingly, both her dress and her hair appear to be on fire. But she and her family don't really seem distressed by this. And she, as you enter the clearing and kind of like stop in stunned, like, what in the world am I looking at? This is a lot to take in. So you kind of lose awareness for a while. And she points at you, and her eyes almost seem to burst into flames, and her hand briefly becomes white hot, and a huge blast of fire launches from it and sails towards you. Everybody roll a dexterity save.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
You put that hand down right now, young lady.
No.
Oh, dear. That's a natural
That's
one.
not great. That was a 4 plus 1, so 5 for me.
10 for me.
Lorch is going down.
All right, so most
19?
of you... 19 for Gravely. Gravely just deftly flips out of the way, lands on his feet several feet away. No risk to Gravely at all. Maya and Lyra are able to dodge out of the way of the oncoming fire. Strikingly, Coach just doesn't move. There's just no dexterity save at all. He just stares, and not like in a bracing way. Just like, I should probably move. But that's okay because she was not aiming for you. Her fireball zooms past you and crashes into a troop of gnolls that were coming up behind you. It sails past you and it incinerates 3 gnolls that were right behind you. It blasts them. I mean, those 3 are just gone, and several others are afire and go scattering away. Because it would appear that Sindel, who's an 8-year-old girl, is some kind of sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Attack!
Yeah, let's...
Blast some gnolls.
Yeah, we're getting in this.
Yeah.
Lyra,
can we see
will you help
any-
us fend back this horde of evil beasts?
Yes, of course.
Probably
of course.
money in it for you.
I'm sorry.
Probably money in it for you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I'm in. Yes.
Or even better, no money for you.
Well, but what Gravely said. Yes, yes.
I'll give her money. Let's do this.
All right, roll the initiative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we have initiative order. Everybody rolled terribly. Maya's at the top of the order with a 9, followed by Coach and Gravely at the bottom, tied with a 1. And so there's a lot of chaos. There's no gnolls especially like attacking you yet, but you can see the 3 gnolls that were not incinerated but are partially on fire are nearby you. 1 looks to be noticing you. 2 more are kind of on the run, moving away from you, but towards the MacIntyre's house. And elsewhere around the square, there's various other gnolls you can see. Maybe 3 or 4 that are approaching the MacIntyres and others that are up the street towards the inn. It sounds like there's more horses and there's several in several cottages. So Maya's first.
Okay. So you said there was like a cluster of 3 of them, or where would be the largest grouping?
There were 6 altogether that got hit by a fireball from Sindel. So 3 of those are down, 2 are running away, and 1 is looking at you. So I guess as a group, there would be those 2 that are still kind of close together.
So there's one.
There's
looking
other
at me.
groups that are, the closest one's about 30 feet away. There's other kind of groups of gnolls that
That
you can
group that's
see.
30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
How many is in that group?
There are 4.
Are they within like a 10-foot radius of a sphere?
Yes.
Cool. So I'm gonna.
Why do you ask?
Oddly
Awfully
specific.
specific. Yes.
I mean, you
No
said
reason.
to know what you're gonna do. So I'm gonna say, "We're killing gnolls," and I'm gonna cast Shatter at that little grouping of gnolls, and those gnolls are going to have to make a con save against my spell.
13. It's their collective
13.
con save.
Yeah, they didn't do so good.
What happens to these gnolls?
So they're going to take 3d8 thunder damage. They're not made of an inorganic material, are
Nope,
they?
they're super organic.
Yeah.
Okay, which one is the 8? This is the 8, right? Okay. So that's 1. There's 2 damage. That's 3, so that'll be 5. and another 5. So that's gonna mean they each take 10 damage.
She cast Shatter on that group of 4 Gnolls, and they literally don't know what hit them, because just like there's just thunder and shaking all around them, and they're all knocked apart onto the ground, grasping their Gnoll ears, taking this 12 damage. They seem to be momentarily distracted from wherever they were going, trying to figure out what just happened to them. And Lyra's up.
Okay, so Lyra pulls out her short sword and she flips around. She does a quick little turn to the Gnoll that's closest to her. And then she starts to sing, "This Gnoll is on fire! This Gnoll is on fire!" And then she tries to stab him in the heart.
Instead.
He's like, I kind of thought she was going to cast a fire spell.
All right, roll attack.
9 plus 6, 15.
That will be a hit.
Okay. And damage.
So we're still in a little bit of teaching mode.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is our friend Jessica. So Lyra does have that, because she has 1 level of Warlock. So as a bonus action, you can hex somebody you're attacking.
Ooh.
And get that D6 plus it impairs one of their 6 skills. So you can do that, and then when that Gnoll goes down, you can move it to another one.
Ooh,
Plus,
you can
as a
move the hex.
rogue, you can sneak attack as a swashbuckler rogue. You can sneak attack without even being that sneaky, because if you just like walk up singing, it confuses them enough that you can just
I
beat 'em
should
up
have
that
saved
way.
my fire song.
No, I'm saying that's what did it. That's
Okay.
very swashbuckler of
Oh,
me.
nice.
You walked up there, so that's a hit. You can roll a D6 for the hex, a D6 for the sneak attack, a D6 for the short sword, plus 4 for your dexterity.
Whoa.
15, 16, 17 total?
Yep.
So that was attacking the one that was facing you guys, starting to notice you guys, right?
It's
Yep.
definitely noticing us now.
Okay, and that one is also partially damaged from Sindel's fireball. So you do all of that damage, and it goes down and collapses in front of you.
Nice to know you.
Hey.
Goodbye. Nice to know you.
All right, and so Gravely's turn.
Is there like a crate or something like a wagon that's a little bit higher up where I can get a better vantage point that's within running distance?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna
Poof, there
run,
is
jump
that.
on top of that, and then if there are a couple of Gnolls, like 2 or 3 Gnolls within 5 feet of each other.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, there's those Gnolls that just went down in Maya's Shattered spell that are looking injured.
All right.
And there's probably other groups within range of your longbow.
I'll
or
go after the
something else.
group that Maya hit, and bonus action cast Hail of Thorns.
Nice.
So that, do you want me to read that or?
If you can just describe what it does.
So it's gonna shoot an arrow, and then the arrow is going to sprout out if it hits. Well, let me just see if it hits. Hold on. That hits. That's 9 plus 14, so 25.
hit.
9. Okay. Damage is going to be 1d8. That's 8 plus 7, 15. Plus they've already been injured. So that's another d8. That's Colossus Slayer, so that's 17. And Hail of Thorns hits. So the arrow shoots out and it splits into several different arrows, which are very pointy and kind of thorny. And they do a dexterity saving throw. Each one of them.
So I'm just going to roll 1 for them, and they failed.
Okay, so they take D10 damage. They each take
I assume
5.
they failed. What was the
They also take
DC?
5.
What was the difficulty of the dexterity saving?
My AC is 12.
Okay. Yeah, they failed.
Yeah, so they take an additional 5 damage. So what did I say? 17. So 23 total.
Yeah, they're all dead. So they're just stumbling around, confused by the shatter spell Maya hit them with, and then they get hit by one arrow in between all of them that then shatters into a bunch of arrows and stabs them all.
It goes into one, and they're like, and then it goes, goes out.
Yes, and they all go down. They all collapse.
And I immediately
In a
look at
heap.
Lyra, and I'm like,
See what I did?
point at that. See that?
And so
Really subtle.
Kevin and Zora definitely notice that and like wave to you. And it is.
We're here. Hello.
It's Coach's turn.
Oh, Coach is going to take out both his warhammers, and he is going to cast them at other Gnolls in his area. But first, he's going to burst into a rage with the bonus action.
Do it.
You're plenty rageful at this point in the situation. So the closest ones are those two partially on fire that are running away from you.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up to
the
those
town
two,
square.
and I'm going to smash them. Or
Okay.
smash one of them in particular. Reckless. Ooh, natural 20. So that one can't get any better. So I'll just roll for the next attack. 5. And a natural 20.
Nice.
That's just making up for the last.
Those
Yeah.
Gnolls are going bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That's why you don't skip calf day.
Yeah. Calf day. Right calf day.
So they're both pretty burned up and hurt. You're able to catch at them, and with both crits, just describe what you do to bring these two.
Ooh. Hold on. I just want to roll some damage because it's fun to roll damage.
All right.
4. Ooh, 8. So that's 12. Plus 4. 16.
Oh, the fun.
On the first hit. That's a 1. That's a 5, 6.
Let him have this moment.
Just let me have this.
Math.
So that's 24 damage.
Hey, they both went down. Yay!
Good job, Coach.
You know,
Describe.
no, they go down and he keeps hitting them.
In Coach's mind eye, he runs up behind them. He takes his right hand. He's right-handed, and he's going to smash one down into the ground with one more hammer. He's going to jump off the corpse of that one, and then with his left hand, he's going to smash down on the other one. But really, what he ends up doing is just going fa-dunk, fa-dunk on both their heads.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it's just playing whack-a-mole with them, and they both and fall down.
All
Coach.
My applause.
So all the Gnolls in your immediate area are down, and you're able to kind of take stock of the square a little bit more. And it seems like for whatever reason, this is the focus of attack. A lot of Gnolls are down all over the place. Sora and Kevin have been working. I mean, you can see the town's guard put up a fight. Most of them seem to be down. You don't see any immediate guards people, but around where you see where guards people went down, you can see that they mostly took some Gnolls with them. So the force is fairly depleted, but there seems to be quite a lot still in your immediate area in some of the in and out of some of the cottages, and maybe 10 altogether closing in on the position of the MacIntyre family who are out in the center. But each of them on their turns, you see Sindel fling more, not the fireball that she flew at you, but other bolts of fire and beams of fire coming out of this little 8-year-old girl, singeing Gnolls around here. Sora continues to take them out kind of systematically with shots from her longbow, and now and then Kevin's working mainly defensively. If anyone gets close, they either get whacked by the shield or his battle axe, depending on the side that they approach. So, and it's back to Maya.
Maya's going to call out, "What's happened? Why are they all attacking you?"
They indicate that they don't know, with a lot of screaming and smashing along the way. Like, I don't know. I didn't bring them up or anything. They didn't send a note and just do something about it.
Okay, well, if you're going to be sassy,
They're going to be sassy. I thought it was an intelligent question.
I'm going to go ahead and use my magic stone. I'm going to say, "Get stunned!" It's an 11, so 16 to hit.
Hit.
So it's going to be 5, so 10 damage.
Okay. So that one is hit by your magical
stone.
flying pebble,
My
and it
pebble.
hits it on the side of the head, and it turns towards you. So that one has successfully been distracted from the family, but now it is starting to move towards you guys.
Oh, no.
And Lyra's turn.
Am I close to the one that's advancing on Maya?
It'll be moving towards you. So if you went towards it, it would be moving towards you. Meaning
Okay.
you'd meet in the middle.
I want to do a swashbuckle, quick in, quick out. Get it with the pokey stick.
Okay. So do you want to move your hex to it?
Yes.
So that's a
Buckle
bonus
hex.
action, and then you can run up with your short sword, and you're going to leave enough room to then back away
Yep.
afterwards.
Mhm.
Okay. Roll the attack.
18.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yeah.
And roll your 4d6 of damage. Plus 4.
That's a 12 total. Plus 4. Do I do that?
Yeah. So 16 altogether. Combined with the stone that Maya just hit. So you run up to it and stab it right in the gut, and it goes right down with your sword that you pull out of it.
You know that's right.
Hey.
She's my best friend.
So you're now closest to these gnolls that are moving towards the family, but having moved forward, two of them kind of turn their attention towards Lyra out there, towards the center of the square, and then Gravely's turn.
All right, I'm gonna cast Hail of Thorns again. If there's ones that are close to each other within 5 feet.
Yeah, there's probably a group of. I mean, if you caught them right where you were aiming, you can probably hit 5 at once with that.
Pulling back my longbow. Look out! That's an 11.
He missed. So he's feeling really, really confident, really going to show off with this one. It went so great with the last turn, and then it doesn't at all. It sails over the head of all of the gnolls and hits a door of a cottage on the other side. Just sits there for a second. Coach's turn.
Coach is going to run at Sindel and Kevin. Yes. And he's going to try and get into like a fourth triangle with them to defend against the gnolls that are attacking them.
Okay. So I think to do that, you'd have to like run in between a couple of gnolls. So do you want to try to push past them and risk opportunity attacks, or do you want to attack them on the way and then...
let's try this. So I have my Battle Rager ability. So I'm just going to try and use my movement and then just kind of pile drive through them. They can still get an attack.
Do you roll for that?
That's fine. It's all about flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have to roll an attack. Nope. 10 to hit.
Okay, that's a miss. So I feel like you try to like shoulder them and they like don't see you coming and step aside and you just like end up shoulder rolling past them and being in front of them, back on your feet, trying to look cool. I feel like you're running through these enemies that are charging towards where you want to defend, so you're going to end up, if you ran all the way to the family and then turned around, you'd be fighting these same ones anyway, so you'd probably kind of like
I thought they were
fight
like
them there and back
facing
up.
me. I didn't know they were going toward. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so 2 turn towards Lyra, but there's others running towards the family. So if your goal is to get all the way to the family, you're charging through some other ones as you run up to them.
I'll keep going to the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So still like, so basically you tried to like spike armor one from behind that was facing towards the family, missed that, but you like rolled past them and now you're face to face with 2 of them with the family behind you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go and defend from there.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's my bonus action, so I'll just take an action to swing at one of these ones that are approaching.
Okay.
Ooh. That's a 21 to hit.
Ooh, nice.
Imagine that hits. 6 damage with my Warhammer.
All right. So 6 damage at that gnoll. You knock it right on the snout. Kind of stumbles backwards. The other one is in close range. That's all your
that is my turn.
Stuff to do. So Kevin says, "Oh, coach, where did that go? Why did you become friends?
Oh, coach.
Coach. Hello, Knights of the Rolled Table. Thank you so much for listening this far. If you would like to hear more episodes, we need your help spreading the word. Word of mouth is the best, pretty much the only way for us to continue and get bigger and find more listeners. So if you can do us the favor of sharing us with friends who might enjoy listening, subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Play, or your podcast platform of choice. One of the best ways to help others find us is if we rack up a bunch of positive reviews on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. So if you are willing to do that, that would be huge for us. Our 5-star review of the week is from Kichi Okami on Apple Podcasts, who said, "Geeky and hilarious. This show was amazing and has become part of my must-listen-to podcast rotation. The characters are hilarious and the story is well-paced. If you love comedy and Dungeons & Dragons, I cannot recommend this podcast enough." Thank you so much for that awesome review. We appreciate you, and we are happy to be a part of your rotation.
And we hope to expand to many other rotations. Also, Chris, who plays Gravely on the podcast, is also an awesome artist, and he's been posting weekly original art on our Instagram at Knights of the Rolled Table Podcast. You can also see more of his work and what he does at Daily Tunes RPG. The theme music for our show is composed by our own Weston Gardner, who plays Coach. Check out what he does at Make My Anthem. You can also follow us on Twitter at Rolled Table for episode updates and announcement. Thanks again for listening. Enjoy the rest of the episode, and until next time, go out and make life an adventure.
Well, fancy to see you. Thanks for joining us.
They must have hit you pretty hard because you said my name like 7 times. Oh yeah, I'm here to help finally. I'm sorry we didn't come sooner. We just found out that a bunch of orcs and the Gnolls were.
All right, well, I don't care. Plenty to go around. Do what you can.
Thank you. And we're on to Maya's turn. So actually, let me roll a couple attacks. So as there's like 6 Gnolls left. 1 misses. 1 hits Sora, we'll say, but gets knocked back after that by Cavan's defense and a miss. And this is going to be an attack on Coach, which rolled an 20. So he's going to attempt to bite you, and that's going to be 6 damage.
Ouch. Oh, but I'm raging, so halved.
So 3 damage total. And another one hits Coach strikes Coach with a spear, but misses.
It strikes me, but it misses.
Those are all that are effective on the family, but there's also those 2 that were turned towards the rest of you. So we'll say 1 attempts to throw a spear at Maya for attack of 10, misses that, and another one crit fails. So another one gets up and attempts to attack. Who's over there? Lyra, and just trips and is now standing in front of Lyra, scrambling on the ground. So
Trips and goes right in front of you, like
slides. Yeah, it was running and then it trips and just like face plants, comes to a rest right in front of her. And it's Maya's turn.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast these jabronis. Let's go ahead and do that. And that was 12, so that would be a 17 to hit.
Hit.
And that's 6 force damage.
So that was one of the ones facing you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the one that attacked you, and you blast it backwards with the Eldritch Blast for 6 damage.
Yep.
And that'll take that one down.
Cool.
And it is Lyra's turn. Lyra, there's one right in front of you, looking super embarrassed for Gnolls.
Perfect.
Struggling to its feet.
I'm going to pull out my dagger just to switch things up because it's right in front of me. I'm going to swing that dagger over my head in a big arc and come down really hard right on its back.
Okay, so because it's on the ground, you're going to roll with advantage.
Cool.
Roll D10 2 times.
A D10.
D20.
13.
Roll again.
Oh. 13.
Hey.
It's a 13 then. So 13 plus 6 is a hit. And roll all of your damages.
Yeah. 14.
All right, so she brings her dagger down into the back of that gnoll, and it does not get up again.
I'm like 3 damage.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
2 damage.
Nice to know you.
You did quite a bit. Well, a couple
With
turns.
double crits.
Yeah.
Unlike the 2 barely
what it takes.
standing gnolls.
All right, the family take out 3 more, approaching them in the ways that they do: arrows and fireballs, or fire bolts and shields continuing to fly. So now there's like maybe 3 left with the family, and none approaching you guys. And it is Gravely's turn.
Are any of them within 5 feet of each other?
2 of them are within 5 feet
Okay,
of each
I'm gonna
other.
go for
Why
those
do you
2.
ask?
I'm going to go for those 2 with a longbow shot.
Okay.
Come on. 14 plus 9. That's something.
Yeah, that's good. Hit.
So whatever that is.
23.
23. Hit him with Hail of Thorns. So they need to make a dex save.
Okay.
That's DC is
That's
12.
a crit fail.
Nice. Okay. So damage. Have they been hurt?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 3 plus 7 plus 8. 18
And they go down.
plus
Nope. Keep 5. Fun.
Math.
so 23.
Yep. All right. So both of them take that damage.
Yeah.
All right, so both of them go down, and now there's only one facing them, and it's Coach's turn.
Ha Coach. 2 strikes. Reckless. Raging. It's 18. Second strike. Please be better than that one. 15.
Okay, that's a hit.
9 damage on the first strike.
Take him out, Coach.
5 damage on the second strike.
And that one goes down.
Yes. Coach.
Coach.
Is it the last one?
That was the last one, immediately attaching the family, but there's plenty more in the town. So there's a moment to kind of take stock and look around and figure out strategically what to do. There seems to be, it's hard to track which cottages have had gnolls go into them, but the family knows sort of like who lives in each of those cottages and families that might be threatened and various folks, and they have a sense of like where the most danger lies.
Okay.
And
Gravely will run up to the MacIntyre and say, "Hello, MacIntyres. Sorry, we didn't say earlier when we left earlier today. This is Lyra. She's a friend of ours. She's got pointy swords. Where should we try to help out?"
Cavan and Sora look at each other, and Cavan says, "I'll take them. You go help the Callahans." And Cavan is, what they're communicating is that Cavan's going to take Sindel and Wick and go back to their cottage to defend them, while Sora would move out to, they sort of gesture over to a cottage on the opposite side of the square, which is apparently the Callahan's cottage, where I guess they've noticed that gnolls have been entered there, and there may be the Callahan family still in there. So Sora like looks hesitant at that, but then nods and heads that way.
So, do you want help?
And yes. Let's go.
Okay.
She's already like on
Gravely's
her
just
way,
running.
halfway, yeah.
Okay, then we run.
We're going to the Callahans.
Let's
run
go.
with her.
I'm sure you guys can handle it. Is there anywhere else that I can go help?
Coach, you are coming with us.
You guys go inside. I'll stay outside and shoot them from afar. I've got 150-foot range.
Jeez.
Gravely,
right.
you're so brave.
I'm gonna try to get to something like high, like on a roof or wherever I can get a good view.
Okay. I mean, so without going in somewhere where you can't see what's in there, there's various like wagons and places similar to where you climbed up before, where you could get a little bit of an elevation and view.
So then your normal height.
Like outside the Callahans.
Ouch.
Outside the
real.
Callahans cottage.
Yeah, preferably with something with a little bit of cover, like a little
Little three quarters
three-quarter
action.
cover, maybe if possible. You know, the lip, because I'm small, I can duck down in a wagon and if I
Yeah,
need to.
you can do that. You can find a wagon that gives you some cover and a little bit of elevation as well, but more
gonna do
importantly, being able to kind of like pop up and shoot at gnolls. So that'll allow you to kind of take pot shots at gnolls running around, but also guard the door if they charge into this house.
Yep.
I think Coach is going to lead the way and bust the door down.
Maya's gonna be right behind him. She likes the view.
Lyra's got her daggers out and she's following close behind Maya.
Okay, so the door is ajar because
No, it's a door. Someone had to.
It shatters.
Pun of the night! Pun of the night!
All right.
this is actually the door that has this is the door that has Gravely's arrow in it from his missed shot. And
Sorry about that!
so if gnolls have gone in there, they didn't like close and lock the door behind them. It's just like it's swung closed right now. So Coach goes in and kicks that door open.
Shoulders it open.
Okay, shoulders it open. Roll a d20 on that.
Wait,
This is more of an odds roll.
It's just an odds roll. It's not a strength check. 14.
Ah, good enough. It opens. In fact, it busts off the hinges. And lands
And
aside.
I have advantage on strength
Yes,
checks.
as opposed to like swinging open and then immediately swinging back close with the
Goes for
momentum and
shoulder
hitting you
day.
in the face.
Specifically left shoulder dash.
All right, so everybody charges in there along with Sora, except for Gravely, who's posted up outside defensively, and it's oddly quiet in there. So there is this is a 2-story cottage. There's a little stairwell up, and there's like a second room beyond the room you're in, which is empty. And you hear some like rustling around and movement in the room beyond. That looks like sort of like a kitchen sort of area.
All right. Okay. I'm very mad. you guys see anybody? Do we hear anything?
Is anybody in here?
You hear those sounds. So you actually hear sounds from both upstairs and in that little kitchen area.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Silent Image. And I'm going to make an image of Lyra, like in those rooms, so I can see who's there.
Wait, okay, so you're creating a silent image of Lyra
To walk into those
in the room
rooms
that's in front of you. Okay.
where we hear the noises, where the people.
Okay.
Lyra, I said I was going in there first.
Oh, coaching the illusions.
Yeah.
All right, so your silent image of Lyra walks in there silently, and two gnolls just jump out and rush it, and then crash into the wall, like run right through the illusion and crash into the wall beyond. And the silent image disappears, and now there's two gnolls fighting you. Roll initiative again.
Hey!
Not gravely. And we're ready. So, we've rolled initiative, and Sora is up first in close quarters. Sora pulls.
So I thought Sora was a little girl for a second. She's like right outside.
That's Sindel.
That's Sindel. All right.
Sindel's going home, and Sora is
Where's the fire starter?
the fire starter. Sora is the mom, and she's strung the longbow over her shoulder, and she pulls out a quarterstaff and casts Shillelagh on it. And she
a little bit of the shillelagh.
charges in, which is a cantrip that allows you to use
Drink a Guinness.
Hey,
fight in a slightly more Irish way. So it allows someone to attack with their wisdom score instead of a
Just
strength or
gold
dexterity
coins just
score.
pop out every time you hit
It's
somebody.
+2 to public intoxication.
And so she walks up to the first gnoll quickly with her quarterstaff, and she smashes it against. She smashes up underneath it in kind of an uppercut with the quarterstaff, and then she smashes it again on the top of its head, and it collapses to the ground. And now there's only one, so it's Lyra's turn.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna attack it with my short sword.
Okay, so you're gonna run up, roll your attack.
Yep.
Ooh.
15
Hit.
is 19.
All right. After Sora jumps in there and smashes the one with the quarterstaff, she kind of steps aside for Lyra to charge in and smash into the second one, who she cuts apart expertly, and that one goes down too. So those two gnolls are gone. You're able to. The two women there are able to survey the kitchen. There doesn't seem to be anyone else in the kitchen. You can kind of hear scuffling upstairs.
So we are going upstairs, yeah?
Are we still on initiative?
We'll keep this order because we don't need to re-roll it, but you can collectively go upstairs.
We collectively
Upstairs.
go upstairs.
Let's go.
Maya will just go ahead and run upstairs. She's kind of pissed she didn't get to anything.
So we'll start with
Well, you
Maya
can go
is first upstairs, and then Coach, and then Sora and Lyra behind her because they're coming out of the kitchen. And as you go upstairs, you see some bedrooms, and it looks like there's kind of just one collective sort of living space up there where the beds are, and there are two gnolls, and you can hear some muffled cries of sounds like children, but you can't see where the children are. It seems like maybe they are under the beds because you don't see anywhere else they might be.
Go help them, Maya.
I'm going to go ahead and, man, I was not prepared for children. Yeah, I'll just go ahead. We're just going to use
A truer sentence has never been issued.
Was not.
Shut up. I'm going to go ahead and Magic Stone.
The child.
No!
The door.
Magic Stone, one of the gnolls.
Okay.
Whichever gnoll seems the most imposing. That's a 4, but don't tell me anything because I'm going to use my lucky feat, which I haven't used at all today. And give myself advantage.
DM's Bane.
Sorry. And that's an 8, so that's going to be 13 to hit.
13 to hit misses.
No.
Well, poop.
He misses.
I was
And you have to
lucky,
use
but
the
not
second
that
one, right? Like you have to use the second one.
Yeah.
What, your second one.
Yeah, it's
do.
not advantage. It's replacing a bad
Yeah.
roll. So you roll first, and if you don't like it. But that one missed too.
Cool.
But that's okay because it's Coach's turn.
It's Coach's turn.
It's coach time.
Coach. Hi, Maya. What are these children doing up here? What are these dolls doing up here with these children?
Coach, that's bad.
Out of the way.
So you don't see the children, but you can hear them. You're guessing they're under the beds, and one of the Gnolls is kind of like looking under the bed, kind of like scraping at them.
The child is scraping at the Gnolls?
No, the Gnoll is looking under the bed, scraping, trying to get at it.
The child is an owl bear.
It's bigger than easily fits under the bed, so it's doing that kind of like trying to reach in there.
Yeah,
but it
I'm
seems
going to
like
take
it's
that
not.
strike with advantage all day long if it's on its
Yeah,
on
for
its
sure.
belly.
That one's not paying attention to you at all.
Kablam. 13 and 11. 13 plus 6 is a 19.
Hit.
After that hits. 2 plus 4, 6 plus 2, 8 damage on the first strike. Mm-hmm. I'm going to smack
Hits.
at it again.
Now it's definitely paying attention to you, but you can still have advantage.
Still on
second hit.
Forwardness. That's a 17 to hit.
Also hits.
8 plus 2 is 10 on my second
All
strike.
right, so on the second strike, that 10, so you smash down on it twice, and it stops moving. And if you have room to like kind of grab on it and yank on it, you can pull it backwards and peek under there, and you see there is indeed a little girl hidden back, like in the way corner, as far as she could obviously get from the opening where the Gnoll is.
Oh, hi, little
There's
girl.
a little, like maybe 5-year-old girl cuddled up under there.
Come on. Coach will keep you safe.
Isn't there still another Gnoll?
Mm-hmm. There is another Gnoll besides Coach.
Come on.
Coach, maybe we should take
Coach
care of
doesn't
the
notice at
Gnoll.
all.
So, but it is.
Come on. I'm making the same mistake that Gnoll made, where I was like under the bed now. Come on.
Yeah. So essentially, you knock it apart, pull it back, and then as soon as you see the little kid, you're like, oh, totally lost. But that's okay because Sora is back at the order, and she's going to move in with her shillelagh on the other Gnoll, which is the one that Maya missed because that was the closest one to the door that you saw first. So she goes in and misses with her shillelagh. She has 2 attacks, though, so she kind of dodges past it and then hits it again. She kind of works her way through so that she's now farther into the room than the Gnoll is and comes around behind it and hits it again. 6 damage. So she smashes down on it, but it is still up and running, and it is Lyra's turn.
Okay, so it's still up and running? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not actually running. That's just a term I use.
It's
I
still
thought I'd use
chugging.
car terminology.
It's
for
chugging.
it.
Operational.
Well, I think I'm just gonna stab it with my short sword.
Do it.
Like I normally do. That is a 9.
Plus your 6, that hits too. Dump all that damage again.
14.
All right, and that thus ends that Gnoll as well. So both of those Gnolls
Good Nolt.
keep them coming.
When you're dead, Gnoll buddy can hear you.
I'm gonna call you Nick Nolte.
Hold on, you guys. Don't blow all these right now.
I'm gonna call
there
it
could be more Gnolls.
Judges.
That's going to be a no. That's going to be a...
Jack Nick
Oh,
Knowlson.
no. Please stop. Anyway, these Gnolls are down, and underneath the other bed, you are. So Sora gets down, and she moves the bed aside to find another little boy, and his mother clutching him. That is Riley, and her son Rick, who Sora knows, and so she says, "Come on, we'll get you to safety. Let's go. Shh, not too loud. There could be more." And Riley, the mother, is obviously grateful and crying and greatly relieved that you guys have been in there and saved them. So she scoops up her kids, and Sora scoops up the little girl, and they head downstairs quietly. There's no more Gnolls in that cottage.
There's
no more Gnolls. It's gonna get hard.
That's the name of the episode. No more Gnolls.
And as you go down out of that cottage, it seems like there's sort of a town plan to gather at one of the main buildings near the inn in this sort of event. So Sora sort of sends the family that way. It looks to be that the path is clear for the moment there. And in fact, it's kind of oddly calm out there, and Gravely is out there, and you've taken down a few Gnolls. But for the most part, you've seen they thinned out pretty quickly, and you saw a few sort of turn. Their strategy seems to have turned. You saw a few go back out through the hole that was in the wall. And so there's no gnolls currently visible in the square. And you guys are back outside.
Looks like they escaped through the knoll in the wall.
I don't know what that means, but they're retreating.
Yeah. Well, is there anything? Is there any other reports? Anybody else who's in town still needing help? I mean, are things still on fire?
Some things are on fire. There is that gathering of folks in sort of, it's like a large hall that's near the inn where you guys stayed, in a more kind of like, there's a sort of a commerce section of town. But Sora is crossing the town square towards her home where Kevin and Sindel and Wick went.
Coach is going to try to find a shovel or something, start throwing dirt onto the fires.
Gravely will check the inn.
Okay.
I'll go with Sora. Maya will accompany Sora to make sure that the family's all right.
Lyra will go toward the large group of people and just try and blend in and listen and hear what everyone's talking about.
Okay, so you guys move off in those directions. Maya goes with Sora, and so she rushes over to the cottage to check on her family. And when she enters the cottage, the rest of you probably hear a scream, because inside the cottage, it looks like Kevin is there laying on the ground. It looks like he got seriously and badly ambushed. He quickly looks around for Wick and makes sure he's sort of like still in his like armored. Kevin essentially fell face down almost protectively on Wick, and so he's sort of like just sort of happily underneath there. He's okay, he is uninjured, but Sindel is nowhere to be found. Sora quickly checks the house, looks all over the place, and establishes that Sindel does seem to be gone, and it seems like the remaining gnolls went with her. And that'll be the end.
Edit this part out.
Edit this
Edit this part out.
Penmanship.
Run the jibbity.
He's got the pen in. He's the man with the pen.
What did he write?
No,
Words.
No,
Numbers.
no,
Letters.
no.
What did he write?
Drawings.